even though based on what they've done so far and how they've handled this, they absolutely should be roasted TK style online on YouTube.
Wait a minute. Did somebody say TK roast style? Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. Broil, baby. See, the difference, let me get my camera situated here right. See, the difference is when I do these videos, see, OC Motivator, great guy, advertiser friendly. Racer X, great guy, advertiser friendly. Me, I do this for fun. I don't give a shit if they don't pay me a dime off these videos. So welcome to another edition of Petty Roosevelt being petty. And today we're talking about Gulfgate Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Houston, Texas. Now, the last time I had to deal with a dealership in Houston, it ended up working out okay, I will be honest. You know, Mac Hike did right by that active duty soldier and got him situated appropriately, and I respect them for that. But fuck these guys. Now I know you're gonna say, damn, already with the F-bombs. Listen, I was already mad when I heard about what happened. I didn't make a video right away because I know how I am when I get to that, right? When I see like illegal shit and people being taken advantage of and all of that, it already makes me mad, right? So then I see this situation being presented with one of my countrymen too. Just turning that oven up higher and turning it up higher. What a lot of you guys don't know is, yes, I was born here in the United States and I'm a Native American citizen, but my family actually comes from Ireland. That means I carry 2 passports. And I go back all the time. My family is from Galway Bay. Some of my family is from Cork. And yeah, I even have some family that's from the northern end. So, hearing this situation happen with this customer, and I'm going to specifically not mention the customer's name here because I'm hoping the dealership gets salty and wants to come after me. Because I had a long conversation with 2 of my sponsors today. And you guys know that have been following me for a long time that one of my sponsors is the largest personal injury attorney law firm in the entire world. Not the United States, the planet. And I'm talking about Morgan & Morgan Attorneys at Law. John Morgan is a great old soul. I say that not with any disrespect, John. But he always tries to make a situation right, even if it's not in his lane. One of my other sponsors happens to be Crone & Moss, which you guys know handles lemon law claims and specifically goes after manufacturers and dealers. Well, had a conversation with my people over at Morgan & Morgan today, and then had a conversation with Crone & Moss, and guess what? They were like, TK, do you? If you need our assistance, we will happily destroy them. So, this wouldn't be a proper Petty Roosevelt video without the following. Let's get ready to rumble! Now that we're ready to rumble, you know what kind of time I'm going to get into. Let's talk a little bit about the backstory. So, this customer, this guy, reaches out to Racer X, says, I really need some help with buying my dream car. Of course. Racer X, helps the guy out, gets him plugged in with a dealer with the specific spec of what he wanted for a vehicle. They find it. They do the deal. This guy proceeds to go out and spends like $6,000 in a PPF, which I can tell you actually isn't that expensive because I just got done with the body work on the Master Chief, and I was looking at doing the whole car after the paint. You have to wait like 40 days or whatever. I was gonna PPF it, and it was gonna be like $8,200 to do. I was like, hell no. It's cheaper for me to repaint the car every 3 years. I'm good. But seeing what this guy did, and I don't know if he was going to export this back to Ireland, because in that case, I've been there, I've driven on those roads, and it would be mighty interesting to see a Scat Pack firing up, and especially if he's in Dublin. Jesus Christ. Wow. I can just see the people there now like, friggin' American. Anyways, I digress. So, gets all his paperwork done, ships the car out, can't register it. Why? It's a 49 state car. California has this Mickey Mouse ass requirement that you have to have a certain certification. Basically, they pay them off. So that it will pass their emissions. And if not, the car has to have 7,500 miles on it. Now, if it was me and I owned that dealership, I want this problem to go away. I'm sure they were laughing at the guys across town who also sell Dodge that came into an unfortunate situation with myself and OC Motivator and Butter the Insider. And it massively hurt their dealerships across the country. Now, I've been more in the news vein lately, talking about what's going on in the car industry. And I like doing that, but I also miss being Petty Roosevelt. And in this situation, it's time for me to be Petty Roosevelt. For most of y'all, if this is new for you and you don't know what that comes in, I got that nickname after I went to a business that attacked a friend of mine at the time online. It was sending stuff to his house and doing a bunch of crazy stuff. And I ended up doing a live stream where I drove to this business 5 hours, 6 hours away, however long it was. And I stopped at every adult store on the way. And I bought every suction cup toy, I'm guessing you can figure out what that is, along the way that I could get. And then I was writing my company's name on them, because I figured out where I was going in the state of Georgia, that as long as my business name's on it, it then becomes a handbill. Well, I think you can guess what happened when I got there. I proceeded to play Dido darts and threw them and stuck them all over the outside of this building till the police showed up. Wasn't breaking any laws. They thought it was funny. Made the front page of the Wall Street Journal. I don't want that to happen to this dealership. And I know you're going to say, TK, they'll have you arrested in Texas. Well, funny you should mention that, because the other avenue I have, I can either embarrass them publicly or I reach out to Ken Paxton directly. Hey, Ken, have you seen this Mickey Mouse shit going on with this dealership over here? This is very similar, and they will, and I'm telling you now, I know a lot of people will be like, oh, he's under investigation for it. Doesn't matter. If it's doing a customer correct and a dealer did something illegal, which they did, looking at the paperwork and looking at the numbers, they submitted the sales tax to Texas, not California, because they knew damn well that they couldn't sell the car in California because it wasn't a 50-state car. They probably sent it to California, and California sent it back. So then, for them to try to hurry up and screw with the deal, they submitted it to Texas. Totally illegal. Now, the reason why I can say also that it's illegal is I spent an hour and a half on the phone with a friend of mine who's an attorney over at Cronin Moss, and they said that, yeah, there's no getting around that if the Secretary of State finds out about it, or if the Attorney General found out about it, like they could sanction their dealer's license. Now, it's not that hard to get a dealer's license in Texas, but if you start having problems, you could mess around and screw up and lose your franchise. Now, we all know that Stellantis ain't selling great right now. Maybe that's what Gulfgate Dodge wants, so that, Stellantis would have to buy back their inventory. But that's not what we're going to do here. I'm hoping that Gulfgate Dodge goes back and looks at some of my older videos. I don't remember exactly how many general managers we've had fired in the last year. No, it's over 10, right? How many people have been arrested over our videos? How many dealers actually lost dealer licenses and a franchise over these videos? And not to mention just the public embarrassment, backlash, and lack of business. But here we are. And I was going through, and now you know the situation that's going on with this customer. And so I want to give Gulfgate Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Houston, Texas on Gulf Freeway an opportunity to make the situation right. I'm thinking by Monday. If you're seeing this, it's Saturday. That means somebody at that dealership's probably going to have to get a hold of the owner. And just to also let the dealership know that I'm not fucking around here, I'm going to go ahead and place a phone call to Ken Paxton tomorrow. And he's going to be pissed because he should be watching the University of Texas, but he's going to have to deal with a phone call about a Mickey Mouse ass dealership. That should be interesting. I wanted to get into, I just want them to understand what's coming for them. And I just happened to pop up the Google app and my God, they have a 4.1 out of 5 reviews. Man. Well, I figured, let's get in here and let's look at some. We got one from 4 days ago. 2 stars. MDE4 Dirt. Pretty crummy experience. I flew from Arizona, kept them up to date on exact date, time I would arrive. Upon arrival, vehicle wasn't even on the lot. It was getting in alignment. They knew about me flying out for over a week. After paperwork was done, I waited over an hour to put eyes on the truck, then to realize it wasn't cleaned yet. Oof. I told them to not clean it so I could finally leave. 2 months later, I find out they screwed up the sale, causing a hold on my title. Are they doing illegal paperwork at this dealership? Seems like it. Instead of them doing the legwork, they had me jump through hoops to show them proof that I paid off the loan with the bank they use. I brought this up to the bank, and they said the dealership could have 100% called themselves to verify the payoff. That's a fact. Once I proved the payoff, communication with them stopped, and I had called... What? Once I proved the payoff, communication with them stopped, and I had called and demanded to speak with the manager. They finally made it happen. I don't recommend this dealership. Well, let me tell you, MDE4 Dirt, DRT, what happened. I'm guessing this was a used vehicle. They didn't have the title for it yet. So even though you bought it, paid it off really quick within the first 30 days, they were still messing around with paying off the last person who owned that truck loan. And they were waiting on the title from the last person. See, we call that floating titles. That's illegal in Texas. Can't do that. They're not supposed to sell the vehicle until the title is physically in hand and or they can show proof at the date of sale that the previous loan was paid off. Now I'm willing to bet that Gulfgate Dodge is going to say, oh, this was just a mistake. We didn't mean to do that. It doesn't matter. If I walk into a bank and pull my out and just have it flopping around out there, it's still indecent exposure. I can't say, oh, sorry, I didn't know my zipper was open and my thing was hanging out. There's no like, oops, I didn't understand the law here. There's no accident. They did this shit on purpose. That's just one review. Let's get into just one more. I just want them to understand, like, daily videos of reviews of their dealership, which from a channel of my size gets indexed into Google. And every time somebody Googles the dealership, what do they see? Nightmare videos over and over and over again. Here we go with another 1-star review from just a month ago from Adriana Fire. What's important about this review, though, is, can you guys see that? I'm just going to put it here on the screen. See, what's important, let me screen grab that so I can send it to myself when I edit this. What's important about this is those little stars, those little orange stars, they're verified Google reviewers, meaning like they're across the platform and they have trust on many reviews. Yeah, so you can't say that, you know, somebody made it. Don't worry, I know Troll Team 6, I can see you guys in the background just waiting. Just wait. I have a very special message for Troll Team 6 before we leave here today. This one comes in from Adriana. Do not purchase any vehicle at this dealership. I am a business owner and went to this establishment yesterday to get a certified appraisal. Pedro did the appraisal but failed to fill out the proper form I needed to submit to get my title. I called them today and asked to speak to Pedro. I was put on hold for 30 minutes, so I hung up and called again. Damn. I heard the young woman say my last name and then hung up on me. Damn. Wow. This dealership really sounds like a winner. I called again. She hung up on me again. Then I called again and she immediately put me through to voicemail. I called yet again and finally she answered with an extremely rude demeanor. And at this point, I asked to speak to the manager. She then put me on hold for another 30 minutes. Finally, the manager came on the line with an extremely rude tone, asked me how he could help me, and I told him what had happened and I was getting hung up on repeatedly. Not once did he apologize or provide any kind of resolution. Finally, I asked him if they could fill out the proper form, which he replied, "We cannot. We are not certified in Texas to give appraisals." Yet, oh my God, let's finish the review. I was in complete disbelief. I am so glad I did not purchase any vehicle here. I would hate to see how they treat customers with issues with their purchase. You filled out an appraisal, but you didn't check the right box or fill out the right area. And then you tell the customer you're not licensed to do it. How many other things are you doing illegally at this dealership with paperwork? I'm willing to bet this dealership does not want the state attorney general's microscope up their ass. I'm just guessing. It's been a while. I need a good week in Houston. You know, stepkids are there. All my family, my friends are down there. Shout out to Stitch, Darius, the whole squad. You know, Sly Beamer's down there. I mean, maybe it's time for like a BMW/Mopar event by the dealership. You know, it's been a while since I've had an opportunity to go by and talk with the sheriff and see how things are going in Harris County. And I don't know if this dealership's in Harris County, but, you know, maybe do like a pro deputy event down there. And I'm just thinking of all the ways I can make it extremely uncomfortable for this dealership. And I know someone will see this at this dealership and be like, fuck TK, he ain't gonna do shit. Oh really? My pettiness knows no bounds, just so that we're clear. This has been a pretty tame video outside of the occasional F-bomb or whatever I may have dropped for being aggravated. To Gulfgate Dodge, I sincerely implore you to fix this situation with this Irishman from California before it gets out of hand. And if the general manager sees this, you will get fired. Anybody that had to deal with the sale will probably get fired, because when you know what your owner's going to do when it comes to his business and him possibly having problems with his franchise agreement or you having a job, your ass won't have a job. You'll be out of there. Don't believe me? Sleep on me if you want. I've done this for a very long time. And as a licensed car dealer myself, I actually understand how the business goes. So that's what will happen. We're going to fire this video up tomorrow. You know, I'm going to get done editing it tonight. It's 3 o'clock in the morning for me. I'm just catching up, watching OC Motivators and Racer X's videos, and I'm pissed. It's ridiculous. It shows the incompetence, for me anyway, of Stellantis, from the CEO through corporate to the dealership level. Now, I'm sure the owner is going to be like, I didn't know about this. If I knew about this, this would have never happened. I would have made it right. I'm going to make it right. So here's the thing. Troll Team 6, y'all know what it is. We're in the building. This is it. Gulfgate Dodge. Houston, Texas. Y'all know what time it is, man. Find me the bad reviews. Y'all can email them to me. If you've personally had a bad relationship with Gulfgate Dodge, a purchase or something, if you got paperwork, I am all about firing up the cameras, getting the podcast mics out, and having you come on board. And listen, I'll do a 45-minute interview with every customer and post them as videos to destroy any reputation your dealership has. And like I said, I already know how you're going to feel. We're going to get our lawyers to sue you. Get it going. Get it cracking. Let's go, Skippy. Because I'm willing to bet money that my lawyers, who are also my sponsors, have way more money than your lawyers. Ask the last dealer who fucked around and found out. Troll Team 6, do your worst. You already know what time it is, man. And this is just a notification for the dealership. You can fix it. All it takes is me to do a video to say that you actually made that situation right. And you're not going to get negative reviews. No one's going to be posting on your Facebook page. None of that. But as long as you just leave this customer pissing in the wind, this was a tame video, just so you know. But it's been a minute. I know there's been some hurricanes and some other stuff going down over there towards the East Coast and in the Southeast. But I think it's time for me to fly the Cessna back to Houston. It's been a minute. It's been a long time since I've got a nice long flight in. And I think maybe I load the Cessna up with a bunch of adult suction cup toys.
Finish him.
Yep. I'll be seeing you. Remember one thing though, guys. As always, stay petty, my friends.
Flawless victory.